Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the 8th round of the IRL F1 season here, part of Invictus Racing League. My name is Gareth, and joining me as usual here on a Monday evening is Alan Sabatino. How are you doing, Sab?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Gareth. Tonight we're here at Silverstone, as you can see, the home of the British Grand Prix. Most people would say it's the home of Formula One. There's so many iconic corners around this place, so many iconic memories, isn't there? The likes of, as we spoke about, Murray Walker last year, he used to come out with some incredible quotes for the likes of Nigel Mansell and Damon Hill, for example. But we're here tonight, Invictus, with these guys. And last week it was an interesting race around USA, wasn't it, Gareth? And we saw our title elect in Harry slip up somewhat. So he'll be hoping to rectify that this week.
Yeah, a fourth place finish for Harry last time out in Australia, matching his worst result of the season, which he picked up back in Australia. And so Australia and America, fourth place finishes. That's not too bad if you're on your way towards a title. He's picked up 5 wins in the 7 races so far this season. However, plenty more to go. 5 races, 4 after this one. We're off to Silverstone, of course, tonight and this week throughout the rest of Invictus. Then next week over to Circuit Paul Ricard, China, Spain, and we finish off the street circuit in Singapore, rounding out the season. And, well, yeah, you were just saying champion-elect very much under Harry's name. It's still there to be caught, but you've got to think that he's got his eyes on the prize when it comes to wrapping up this title. And it's a case more of when as opposed to if, it seems like now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I had a brief chat with Harry just before the start of this, and he basically said to me, look, if it doesn't matter so much if he does pick up a 4th place here and there, because he knows as long as he keeps on track, keeps scoring them good points, this title is still firmly in his hands. And I'm sure tonight he'll be going for the win like he has done in previous races so far this season, and he'll be going to get that pole position beforehand as well. But Harry knows that play it a bit more sensible here, and he's going to be in cruise control definitely towards this title. But you've got the likes of his teammate Hercules, who's on hot form, I'd say, at the moment. He picked up his first win last week, didn't he, in the Renault? And you've got the likes of Stinson. Yes, he keeps picking up those penalties, and he almost, didn't he? He almost won it last week, nearly nicked it off Hercules. So Stinson also looking very, very fast as well. So Harry will have some work to do tonight to pick up pole position and even a race victory.
Yeah, as you say, Hercules picking up his first victory last time out. His first win since round 10 of season 10 back at Singapore, where he actually beat CRG Gamer, who was the winner last time that we were here, I believe. And yeah, it was Gamer that stole it away from KJ Eltink, of course. He ended up with KJ starting on the pole, Gamer in second, Hercules third, and Harry fourth. However, it was Gamer that took the win ahead of Eltink. Hercules on the podium in third place. A race, Sab, that went from full wet to intermediates to dries. Now, we're at round 7, round 8, sorry, we've had 7 rounds. We've not seen rain in either session of qualifying or race so far this season. So you've got to think, at some point this season, the heavens are going to open. We're going to see some precipitation fall from the sky. And it's going to mix up the grid somewhat. So surely tonight is the night.
I hope so, Gareth. I was actually thinking about that myself, to be honest. I look at these guys, probably will curse me for hoping for rain for them, but I love commentating on tricky conditions like you've just said. It really tests these guys' skills and really gets them thinking with the pit stop strategies and stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed. And we are in the UK, and if any of you are living in the UK, you know what the weather's like in this country. You can have glorious weather one day and absolutely belting it down rain the next. So fingers crossed, being here in the UK this evening around Silverstone, where it seems to have its own microclimate anyway, Silverstone, we might get some rain this evening for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is, as you say, its own little microclimate. Very much you just seem these weather cells just bubbling up out of nowhere, as it usually does in that Oxfordshire, Northamptonshire border. And yeah, Silverstone's a lovely circuit. Of course, very, very old circuit. It's held Grand Prix for, well, decades and decades, and races even through the 20s when it used to be an airfield, of course, back in World War One, World War Two. It is the home of British motorsport. It's 18 turns, a 5.8 kilometre circuit. That's 3.6 miles, the 4th longest on the F1 calendar, with 66% full throttle. It's the layout we've been using since 2011, the arena layout, where it was redesigned after 2009. Of course, we've got this new start-finish line, of course, the new pit lane building as well. We lost the bridge section, which I think is a bit of a shame. I always preferred the older layout. However, it's 48 gear changes over that, which makes 1,624, over a 50% distance tonight. And Sab, it's the longest pit lane on the F1 calendar. It's a very, very slow pit stop here, very slow entry. And, well, it feels like forever as you climb out the hill in towards the exit of the first corner and feed into turn 2. And pit stops here, crucial this evening.
Oh, most definitely. And yeah, I totally agree with what you were saying there. Having raced in IRL alongside yourself, doing pit stops around here, you feel like it's taking you an eternity, thinking you've got a chance here to beat somebody, and you're just crawling through that pit lane and coming out the hill wondering whether you're going to overtake or keep the position that you may have gained. So yeah, pit stops definitely crucial around here. And if we do get potential weather, potential rain, a mixture of everything, then who knows, 2 or 3 pit stops could really be crucial around here, especially picking and choosing your moments of when to pit, because you don't want to be out on this circuit, a very fast circuit, isn't it, on a greasy surface as well, and you can find yourself easily into the gravel or worse. So yeah, a lot to think about. But probably me saying all that, Gareth, we're going to have glorious sunshine, probably.
Yeah, absolutely so. I wouldn't bet against that. But we'll find out very, very shortly as we go to qualifying for this, the 8th round of the season here, the IRL F1 League, the premier class of Invictus Racing League. These guys all running no assists or no performance-based assists. Some may be running with the racing line. As we roll into qualifying, and beautiful blue skies above the pit building in Silverstone. And everyone's standing above the pit lane just thinking, oh, well, it could have rained, but never mind. And just heard it's going to be an all-dry race as well, Sab. So it's going to be all on pace this evening. So qualifying is about to begin. We've got a couple of guys that have done quite nicely in qualifying over the last few races or so. Of course, Harry you have to mention, because he is very much the man on fire when it comes to qualifying at the moment. But Andre, top 4 finish, or top 5 for qualifying results in the last 4 races, including 3 on the bounce, finishing in 3rd. So Andre, very much a man to watch in qualifying.
Most definitely. We have to give a big shout out to Andre. His performance last week was absolutely superb. He somewhat surprised me, I'm not going to lie. I did not expect him to get on the podium, but he drove absolutely superb. So yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Another one I'd say to keep an eye on, and it was a tough evening for him, and that's Beastas. I keep bigging Beastas up, and he probably will hate me for doing it, but Beastas, he's very quick in qualifying, that one lap pacer. He's definitely one also to keep an eye on. So at the moment, Gareth, I'd probably pick between 4 or 5 drivers for pole position at the moment. It's that difficult, I think, that close at the moment. Yeah,
very much so. And what I like about Silverstone is, I mean, it's not my favourite British circuit. I think I've made it abundantly clear over the years that Brands Hatch, I think, would be is the premier British circuit to me. But the best thing about Silverstone, I think, is it's very much like Bahrain. You can overtake almost every single corner. I mean, you'd be very brave into Maggotts and Beckett's, but it's been done. It's theoretically possible. It's a circuit that really does open up the race, allow very, very quick driving. DRS trains can be a bit of an issue. However, you can see moves pretty much into every corner.
You can indeed. It's a very fast flowing, good circuit for the opportunity to see some overtaking, especially where MX Limitless is now just coming into Club Corner. That's a braking zone into Club Corner. You can find yourself trying to lay on the brakes as Limitless rounds the final corner down Hamilton Straight now. It's not the International Pit Straight anymore, is it? It's down Hamilton Straight now for MX Limitless, and he'll be looking to improve on last week's outing, because he got quite a few points, didn't he, Limitless? So he'll be hoping for a much better evening this evening.
Yeah, very much so. And just on board of Andre, the man we were talking about just a few minutes ago, he's currently on a 3-race spell of starting in 3rd place. So let's see what the Haas can do as he rounds Woodcote Corner, down across the old start-finish line and down towards one of the fastest corners full speed into Cop's corner, try and keep it on the black stuff, and he does very nicely. These cars almost going around on rails, they're so glued to the ground as he goes into one of the most iconic sequences of corners in World Motorsport. It's Maggots, Beckett and Chapel onto the hangar straight, underneath the bridge and down towards Stowe corner, and you throw it in there as fast as you can, trying to carry as much speed as that rear flap of the DRS closes for Andre. Keep it on the inside of the line, making sure you're not running out, invalidating into the final two corners at Club Corner, and try and use as much of the runoff area as possible. Use that orange curve if you can, just to lean into the corner, and Andre getting a little bit wrong on exit. It does a 1:24.3, a little bit scruffy in the final third there, but Andre pretty happy with that. A 24.3 opens his lap. Beastas, however, 24 flat, he's currently fastest.
I was keeping an eye on Limitless, but he wasn't happy with his time as Harry goes fastest with a 24.002. I'm just keeping an eye on the McLaren driver of Stinson. He's coming around Club Corner now. What can Stinson do on his first flying lap of the evening? He does that 2/10 faster than Harry. That's a solid banker lap there from Stinson. Top of the timing so far. He surely will be very pleased with that. Harry has got some work to do.
Yeah, very much so, and we know that Harry was tipping Stinson for a decent result tonight, but Harry, as you say, a little bit of work to do currently on that 24.002, just 9,000ths of a second faster than Beastas, currently occupying third place in this one. Hercules down in fourth, Andre then TL44S. We've got a few other drivers out on circuit. We'll just see, we'll catch up with Finn Marcus. He's currently without a time, but the Mercedes driver coming around to the final few corners. What can the Mercedes do? His teammate, of course, Cliffy, back in his second race of his return. Oh, a bit of a lock up there for Marcus as he comes in towards Club. Doesn't lean too much on that orange sausage curve, but comes across the line up into 7th position. 24.535. Pretty decent banker time there from Marcus. He'll be hoping on a decent result tonight. He's been a bit on and off when it comes to qualifying so far this season. He's not really made too much of an effort, apart from 8th place is his best so far. So if he holds up 7th, I'm sure he'll be pretty happy.
I'm sure he will, and I think at the moment, Gareth, we've only got 9 times set. The rest of the field either have not chose to go for it yet, or they've invalidated on their laps, and it is quite easy to invalidate round here. You can run wide here and pick up an invalidation. MX Limitless is back out for another go, whereas you've got the likes of Rudy Schofield, the Cliffy, Nathan Burmeister and JCol all yet to set a time with 12 minutes to go. There's plenty of time, of course, but these guys still not setting a time, with the front runners now back into the pits. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Limitless once again, see how he gets on.
Yeah, and whilst he's making his way around the circuit stuff, it's somewhere that obviously we know very well, being from Britain ourselves. However, we've raced in many times in league races, in casual races and whatnot. What's your favourite part of the circuit? It is a circuit that it can be like Marmite for some. However, you do often find that you enjoy a certain corner around here. Some love to throw it into Cops, some love the sweeping section of Maggots and Beckett's. Have you got a favourite part of the circuit?
You just mentioned it, Cops for me. I love throwing it into Cops, going down the old start-finish straight, throwing it into Cops. It feels fantastic to be able to just literally go around there without taking your foot off the gas. That is fantastic. And then entering into Maggots and Beckett's, that part of the circuit for me is absolutely fantastic. But I also love going down the likes of Wellington Straight, heading down to Brooklands and Luffield. I think there's opportunities there to potentially send one down the inside if you get a good run with DRS enabled. So yeah, that section of the track for me is a lot of fun, and you can find yourself gaining places. You also find yourself, if you've not got a very good setup, find yourself all out of shape and potentially losing it. So it's got a mixture of everything around there. So that's for me is what I really enjoy. What about yourself, Gareth?
Yeah, I mean, Cops is definitely up there. I do like, however, the Wellington Straight and this new layout down towards Brooklands and Luffield. I feel I remember a time back in the Realistic Performance League a few seasons ago going 4 wide into Brooklands, of course, which I think sent our very own Malc into spasm as he tried to cover 4 of us trying to make it into one corner. And yeah, but like you say, Cops is such an iconic corner. You can, especially in these cars with the current aero that they run, you can just take it almost flat out, and they very much just go around it as if they're stuck to it like a roller coaster. So yeah, it is a circuit that I really do enjoy driving on, and one that's kind of evolved for me as Limitless goes up into 5th position there. And back on the older games, I actually really detested driving on this game, but as the cars have evolved, if they've got a lot more grippy, it's become a lot more enjoyable, probably because it becomes a little bit easier to drive. But I'd love to know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. Let us know what you think of Silverstone. Have you got a favourite corner? Have you got a favourite race that you've seen both in Invictus and in real life? Let us know. Always good to get you guys chatting in the comments, and hopefully you're all enjoying the session this evening. And if you are, make sure you press the like button. Really does help us out. And equally, subscribe if you're new. Always great to see new people coming and enjoying the racing here at Invictus Racing League. Plenty more racing to come this week from Invictus. You can join us Monday through Thursday, all 3 gaming platforms, which you can find here on YouTube or over on twitch.tv/Invictus Racing League. Go to invictusracingleague.com to find out all about the leagues, all the socials. Invictus RL on Twitter, Invictus Racing League on Facebook, and on Instagram as Rudy pops up into 5th position.
It was a tidy lap that from Rudy for his first time lap of the evening. I kept an eye on that. I'm just having a look at Nathan now. Nathan pops himself into 10th place with a 24.617. Yeah, it was a decent lap there from Rudy. I think he'd be pleased with that for his first bank lap. But we've got the front running guys at the moment out on their fastest lap. I'm going to keep an eye on Beastas in 3rd place currently.
I think our minds have melded together in these last 2.5 years that we've worked together, and yep, just went on board with Beastas. Of course, the navy blue and the white green helmet of Beastas. Nice distinction of colour there as he throws it into Stowe down towards Club Corner and straight into the box. So he's decided he's not going any faster on this one. So that's going to leave Harry, who's not going any quicker through Sector 2. We'll see what he's doing through Maggots and Beckett's. As he comes onto the hanger straight, he is fractionally up on his time as he finishes Sector 2, sorry. So 400ths up on his time, so not enough to get him in Stinson range unless he can absolutely motor his way through the 3rd sector. He's currently on a 24.002. What can Harry do? He's going to want to dip into the 23s, a little bit slow on exit of Club Corner, around the final corner, keeps it on the black stuff, and in fact, just about pips Stinson to provisional pole position. Obviously improves on that 3rd sector. Club Corner looks as though it was very much where he was making up that time. He currently holds it by 0.08 of a second over Stinson, who's just starting his 2nd flying lap now.
Yeah, I just watching Stinson. He was 2/10 up coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. 2/10 up. He lost it all in the final few corners. He locked at front left up going into Club Corner, ran deep as well, and he ended up 4/100ths slower than his original time. So Stinson clearly has the pace there to go much quicker. He just needs to nail them final few corners. So Stinson will be a bit frustrated, I imagine, especially seeing Harry going above him, but he'll also know that he's got that time in him. He's just got to nail that last few bits. And one guy I think I'm a little bit surprised at the moment, still down there, he's just coming out of the pit lane now, is Hercules. He's still down there in 4th place. I'm thinking he'll be wanting to try and find 2/10 even more to try and beat his teammate down in 4th place at the moment. Fractionally behind Beastas, isn't he, on the time? So Hercules will be desperate to try and improve on that. Hercules coming out, so I'll be keeping an eye on him next.
As Bando pops up into 7th position and Scopefielder up into 11th, and the Alfa Romeo driver really not having the season to remember here on PS4, doing slightly better in the PC League, which you can find on a Wednesday evening. However, Scope maybe not running to his best in F1. We know that this 4-time champion here in Invictus Racing League can do much better, and we expect more from the Super Swede. You see there the blue and yellow tinted crash lid, and he's making his way back round, I imagine, into the boxes. We'll see if we can catch up with anyone else on circuit. Let's go on board JCol, who's invalidated that one, unfortunately. He's down in 10th position on the bubble. Of course, the worst position you want to beat 10th place. You get to start on those softs that you've used in qualifying. You don't get the benefit of starting outside the top 10 where you get free tyre choice. But we've got Burmeister as well, and Burmeister told me, last thing he said before as I was chatting to him over here, is I will be in the points this evening, watch me. So well, you're on screen, Bert. Let us know what you can do as he runs just about alongside the given line on the exit of Cops, now into Maggots and Beckett's as the Ferrari driver throws it left to right to left to right and through the next left and on to the hanger straight. DRS wide open as he heads down towards Stowe Corner. DRS open, of course, giving yourself that extra bit of aero reduction as he heads into Stowe. Around towards the final 2 corners on the lap. What's Burr going to do? He's not yet currently set a time. 5 minutes left to go in this one, so it's probably going to be a rush to the pit box. He's going to come out and set another time, but Burmeister, 16th position, up into the top 10. Good lap there from Burr.
A good lap, yeah, and another person doing a good lap is Hercules. 10th and a half up, purple first sector for Hercules. He's coming through Copse now, heading towards, heading towards Magnus and Beckett now, and if he can keep this pace up now, you can imagine he's going to be on the front row with his teammate, even maybe ahead of his teammates. He's absolutely flying right now. He's just coming through the second sector. He's two and a bit tenths up now, so he's improving each sector here. So Hercules now looking like if he can nail this final few corners, he could be on that front row with his teammate coming down now towards Club Corner. He does have a car ahead of him. It shouldn't put him off too much. Rounds the final few corners now. What can Hercules do this evening? Can he improve, get on the front? Yes, he can get on the front, but it's not quite enough to beat his teammate. It puts him second on make it an all Renault front row so far.
And that would equal his best qualifying result so far this season. Not yet finished on the pole in qualifying. That's very much gone to Harry, who's taken it in 7 or 6 out of the 7 races we've completed so far. Rudy coming up to the final few corners now. He's in 6th position, currently on the 3rd row of the grid. Can he get himself up ahead of the likes of Andre or Bistas onto the front 2 rows? It's up ahead of Andre into 5th. Another good run there for Rudy, the man who's currently taken 3 third place finishes so far this season, and possibly, Sab, the surprise of the season so far.
Yeah, most definitely. He's shown real good pace at times, hasn't he? And definitely able to pick up a podium here there. So who knows tonight? I've just gone on board with Cliffy, and he's completely lost it at Maggots and Beckett's, going the complete wrong way. He's on the set of mediums as well. Just about gets out of the way of, I believe that was Bistas, was it? Yeah, Bistas going past there. So the first one to really lose it through those left rights. But Cliffy on the mediums, looking like he's going to be doing his usual tricks this evening, starting from the back and making those mediums work through and finding positions throughout the race. But Cliffy, the only person at the moment to not set a time this evening with 2.5 minutes on the clock. He's coming back into the pits, and I imagine that's probably his qualifying over.
Yeah, alternate strat Tony, we should start calling him, as Cliffy likes to start towards the back of the grid. But luckily, as you caught him, I just caught him as we went on board with Tony, as you say, getting a little bit squeamish and losing the back end and all over the grass. As soon as you touch the grass here, you're going to be pointing in the wrong direction. Bistas deciding he's not going to improve on that current 4th place, so he's decided to call it quits with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in this one. And well, there's Rudy as well, so Rudy calling out as well. So less than 2 minutes to go. We've got 2 minutes left in this qualifying session, the 8th round of the season here, the Invictus Racing League, IRL F1 League on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the PS League. But we've got the premier class of drivers. These guys, of course, all running no performance-based assists. And, several drivers coming for their final runs. We've got just over 90 seconds left to go. Well, Sab, it's the Renaults locking out the front row so far. Stinson yet to come out of the box. He's going to be cutting it fine. There we go. He's just out. Hercules calls it quits in 2nd position. So he's deciding to not use a 3rd set of the soft tyres, it seems.
Yeah, well, that just surprised me, to be honest, unless he thinks that's as much he can give. But what's surprised me is Hercules is retired, with Stinson coming out of the box now. Stinson will be hoping he can find that lap, what he was doing earlier in the session. And if he does, then Hercules will find himself on the 2nd row of the grid. But Harry out there, you'd imagine surely if Harry really does nail this now, he's going to be guaranteeing himself that pole position. Stinson will want to try and snatch it off him. It's going to be fascinating to see who wins the battle between these two. I'm going to keep an eye on the McLaren driver, of course, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, he's going to have to get his skates on a little bit. He's only just heading into Maggots and Beckett's now, Stinson. So if Stinson takes his time a bit too much, he's probably going to end up not seeing the line quick enough. So he has to get his move on quite a bit.
Yeah, and obviously having to push a little bit when you're out lap means that those tyres are a little bit more worn, a little bit warmer than what you want for your flying lap. One man that is enjoying his flying lap is Andre. He got a lovely tow from his teammate TTG Nathan 66 down the Wellington Straight and now into Stowe Corner. Andre was up by half a tenth of a second. Can he improve over the last few corners and get himself back up ahead of Rudy? Of course, Rudy and Beastas unable to reply if Andre can improve. What can the Haas driver do? From sixth position, can't improve. It's a tenth of a second off his time. However, he stays in sixth position. Stinson is currently, as you say, just made it to line. Harry, however, going backwards, and Harry spinning out of his flying lap on the exit of Chapel there onto the Hangar Straight, so getting it all wrong, it seems, as a Bando unfortunately getting a disqualification, it seems, out on circuit, and that's going to drop him all the way down to the bottom of the grid, so not ideal for what you can see. He was just parked up in the old pit lane there for the racing point, but Stinson is now, well, this is huge for Stinson. Harry, it's not improving. He's not going any faster. Got it all wrong on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. What can Stinson do? He's got just a couple more corners left to go after this one. He's going to come onto the DRS straight. As there you go, Harry's not going any faster. He got it all wrong. Stinson, he's taken 300ths of a second of his time. He needs to make up 8 if he's going to snatch pole position away from Harry and take pole position, his first of the season. What can the Dutchman do as he comes up to the final 2 corners? It's going to be right at the death if Stinson can take pole position here. Can he split the Renaults? Can he even get himself up onto provisional pole position? Here we go, across the line. There you go. What a lap there. What a final few corners from Stinson. A 1:23.743. Absolutely blitzes Harry's time, puts him up onto provisional pole position, and with Scopefielder now into the box, that is it. That's qualifying done. Stinson, the last man to cross the line, steals it from Harry BR25 and breaks that streak of pole positions that Harry's been holding ever since the 4th round of the season.
Yeah, it was a great end there for Stinson. He really he had to nail those final few corners, and he did. And yeah, that was a good close qualifying, wasn't it? And Harry will probably feel very frustrated after what happened on his final run.
He will indeed, unfortunately getting it all wrong. But Stinson, pole position, 1:23.743, 600ths of a second faster than Harry BR25. Hercules in 3rd with Beastas 4th, Rudy in 5th with Andre, another good qualification, in 6th. Nathan and Limitless in 7th and 8th with Burmeister getting in the top 10 quality from Burmeister there. JCol 10th, then Teal for S, Finn Marcus, Scopefielder, Foxy Red, Cliffy and Bando unfortunately getting that DSQ for being parked up in the old pit lane entry. And, well, 16 drivers all going to be thundering down towards Abbey for what is quite a short run to turn 1. However, it's quite a fast corner, very easy, Sam. We've seen in previous races from all categories to get it wrong, to get someone's wheel tagged up, get a little bit too close for comfort, and seeing people parked in the wrong positions and people, well, very much pointing in the wrong direction about 4 seconds after the race start here. So everyone's got to be very careful off the start.
They have indeed, especially if you're in that mid-pack. I've come across a few seasons ago to that. You just no room. All these cars trying to squeeze. These cars are wide, aren't they, as well? And they're all trying to squeeze into that first corner at speed. And you can easily clip a wheel or clip the back end of somebody, and suddenly your race goes from pretty good to pretty terrible. So yeah, these guys will be hoping to nail that. You don't want to be too cautious, though, do you? Because you can find yourself ended up getting rear-ended quite easily, and again finding yourself potentially facing the wrong way. As you said earlier, Gareth, nice blue skies at Sonny Silverstone, its new nickname, I assume. But these guys, Stinson. Question for you, Gareth. Can he finally get that race victory tonight? He's nailed the pole position, absolutely superb. Can he get that race win?
It is all going to be, and that's the very much the golden ticket question, isn't it? It's, can Stinson keep his nerve and keep it between the 2 white lines? We've seen him struggle so far. He lost a race back in Mexico, it feels, when he picked up too many penalties. He's been close before. Of course, last time out with Hercules, that's what cost him as well. So it's all going to be on whether Stinson can hold off pardon me, Stinson can hold off the 2 Renaults, and equally whether he can keep it clean. It is easy to pick up penalties here. You can see people using a little bit too much runoff area, taking too much of the entry curve through Maggots and Beckett's, so I would expect to see some penalties rolling up through the rest of the grid, but the big question is, can the McLaren driver keep it clean? It's going to be a huge ask. However, you've got to think that he's ready for this one. He definitely looks as though he's been practicing for this one, wanting to beat Harry. Finally, it feels like it's been forever that we've seen someone come up and battle on track with Harry, and now it seems we've got Hercules and Stinson starting to get their asses in gear and ready to go for this one. And well, previous races, as I said, last time we were here, round 11 of season 10. That one was won by CRG Gamer 62. His race win, and in fact, he won the championship in his return to IRL. His second title, I believe it was, that he'd won here in his return season. Back then, season 9, round 3, that was won by Hercules. So Hercules having won here in the past. Charlie in second, Jumper Lion in third. Back then, season 7, round 6, it was San Pepito that took it ahead of Speed Queen and GP1 Alex. And then finally, season 6, round 6, Malc took it ahead of Scott and Tony Wise. So Malc having been on the top step of the podium here in what was the No Assist League when it used to be Realistic Performance. I'm not sure if you were even commentating back then, were you, Sab?
No, not at all. The guys are underway here, and just looking outside the top 10, we have a mixture of tyre choices this evening. Nobody fancying that hard tyre whatsoever. We've got TL4FS, Scopefield, Cliffy and Bando Biz, unfortunately, who got that DSQ at the back. They're all on the medium tyre, whereas we've got Foxy Red and Finn Marcus in 12th and 14th on the soft tyre. So interesting down at Alfa Romeo, Gareth, is a mixture strategy there. So I imagine Foxy will probably be having a word with Scopefield saying, let me pass early on, I'm on the faster tyre, I'm going to see if I can try and catch up to the likes of TL4FS and get into that top 10 with this soft tyre.
Yeah, and as you see from the wonderful AWS graphic there, it said that the pit window for the or the softs to the hards and soft to the mediums are exactly the same lap. So, well, it's very much going to be who can extend and who wants to go for the undercut. It will be the ones that either benefit or do not in this one. And, well, hopefully, guys, you are all enjoying this one. We're setting up for an absolutely thrilling race with Stinson leading from Harry and Hercules. If you are enjoying it, make sure you press the like button. Really, really does help us out. And, of course, if you see that it's less than 20, you know what, I'm asking for a bit of egregious shame here and just saying, if it is less than 20, give us a like. It really does help us out, helps getting the video pushed through to new viewers, new subscribers, and who knows, maybe a new rival or two for yourselves if you're a driver watching it. And well, if you're new, welcome to Invictus. This is the Invictus Racing League. This is the IRL F1 League, the 8th round of the season here from Silverstone. If you are new, give us a subscribe and well, get in touch. Go to Invictus Racing League on the website invictusracingleague.com. Go to Invictus RL on Twitter, Invictus Racing League on Instagram and on Facebook. Find out more and find out if you can very much be Invictus as Stinson filters into his grid position. Everyone rolling into place. You can see there Stinson, Harry, Hercules. What's Hercules going to be doing? Will he battle his teammate into turn 1? Will he let Harry go for it? Will we see Stinson getting the jump off the line? It's going to be ever so close. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 red lights. We're getting ready to go racing here in Silverstone, and we're out and underway. It's a good start from the McLaren driver. Harry not with a good start at all. His teammate's going to sweep around the outside. Surely Hercules can have the line there side by side, and it looks as though Harry's just about held onto it behind Hercules. He holds on to 3rd. Nathan up into 4th position. Beastas in 5th. Rudy now in 6th, swapping positions with Andre behind you. TL4S and JCol swapping positions, and they're all making their way through the Weddington Straight. Is it all clean? It looks as though we've got away scot-free without anyone going off into the grass. Sab, good start there.
Really good start, but not a very good start for Beastas. He just bogged down and he got mugged by Nathan, and Andre really started to put the pressure on Nathan, but Rudy has sent one round the outside of the tag. They tag a little bit there. Andre just about held on the position, but Rudy now coming up the inside. This is surely not going to be side by side through cops. And Rudy's, he's all out of shape, just about hangs onto that, but that's surely going to allow Limitless now passes, so that braves maybe silly dive down the inside of Cops has cost Rudy a little bit there, and it's probably helped out Beastas, because Beastas was under some pressure, but Nathan's teammate Andre now is trying to put the pressure on Beastas, so we've got a great fight for 4th place right now.
How Rudy kept that pointing in the right direction, I do not know. Side by side through Cops on lap 1. That's very bold indeed, as Bando's trying to go around the outside of 2 cars. He's going to lose the car, and he goes around. The Racing Point is not going the way of Bando this season. And, well, unfortunately just got on the grass into the braking zone and turned that Racing Point facing in the wrong direction. And unfortunately Bando's season goes from bad to worse here in Invictus. It's really not going his way on a Monday night or a Thursday night. Up in the lead of this one, and I'm just trying to catch up to see if we have got Stinson leading this one on the mini map. Down on the timing screens it says he's in 12th, but ignore that. We've still got the McLaren leading away from the 2 Renaults. Harry having held on to 2nd place ahead of Hercules. However, Hercules with the much stronger start compared to Harry, and it is something that Harry struggled with on this game so far, is getting a good launch off the line. And well, Hercules was possibly a little bit courteous to his teammate there. He could have sent it around the outside and to the inside into turn 2, but thought better of it. He's going to sit behind his teammate and behind the McLaren, so now he's going to let Stinson punch the hole in the air and let these 2 drag him along.
I'm just keeping an eye on board of Beastas and Nathan, all out of shape really, going through Cops, just about kept it on the track, but Nathan is hanging on to Hercules a little bit, but just starting to slowly fall off that pack at the front. So Beastas will be hoping to try and capitalise on Nathan just struggling on this lap. He's closed a bit more. The timings have all gone skewy for me at the moment, but Beastas well in DRS range of the Haas, but Andre, the other Haas driver, really putting the pressure on Beastas. So Beastas at the moment in a bit of a Haas sandwich as Nathan has gone off. Nathan has gone off, and that has opened the door nicely for Beastas. And Nathan, oh, I don't know what happened there. I was on board with Andre. I just seen Nathan on a completely different circuit pretty much there, and that is terrible for Nathan. I said he was struggling, and it just proved there. I don't know whether he's locked tyres up and made those tyres undrivable, but unfortunately it's lost him 2 places, and he's all out of shape again now, and this is allowing Limitless and Rudy to put the pressure on him. So Nathan really not enjoying this stage of the race. Yeah,
Limitless with a good start to the race, currently in 7th position, pushing Nathan around Luffield in Woodcote, and into Cops Corner. Looks as though they've filtered back into position, but as you say, Nathan dropping down a few positions, allowed his teammate back up into 5th place, and Beastas in 4th, but they are 4th, making their way pretty cleanly so far. There's been a little bit of a tit for tat, but nothing too aggressive too far. Cliffy, he's made a couple of moves so far. He's up into 13th position. He's now following his teammate in 13th and 12th place, but you can see this is where that DRS train starts to come into effect. Everyone's sitting behind each other within that 1 second window. No one able to close up, no one wanting to use too much battery too early, and Limitless picking up an early penalty. That's 3 warnings. That makes a 3-second penalty. So lap 4, and he's already picked up 3 seconds. So if that's the case, will we see that come and manifest from some of the other drivers? If not, will we see Limitless maybe take a little bit of pace off? He knows he's having a pretty decent start so far. However, he doesn't want to be picking up any more penalties, because that will drop you right down the order. Look at the gaps, it's all within half a second of each other.
Yeah, that really could cost Limitless a good finish this evening, so he wants to try and limit that, part of the pun, limit that the amount of penalties he picks up. I'm just keeping an eye on Andre, and Andre's doing a nice job of putting Beastas under pressure. Since Beastas has cleared Nathan, he's not really been able to do anything in terms of reeling in the top 3, and if anything, he's starting to lose time to the top 3. It was at the start of about 1.4 seconds, it's gone up to 1.9 seconds now, and Andre around half a second behind Beastas. So Andre will have the DRS on Beastas, so at the moment Beastas will be under some pressure from the Haas driver, and Andre, after having a very good race last week, will be hoping for another good race this evening. But round about with Andre at the moment, he's just a bit too far behind Beastas to make anything work. So at the moment it stays as Beastas in 4th and Andre in 5th, but I imagine Andre is going to try all he can to steal that 4th place.
as Harry had a little bit of a look down at Stinson, just got within striking range but held back this time around. He's used up quite a bit of battery in the opening lap, so he's going to want to perhaps recharge over the next lap or so. So we've got Limitless, as you say, closing in on Nathan once again as they sweep through Abbey into Farm Curve, now into Village and the Loop. Of course, this is the new part of the circuit that was redesigned for 2011, and well, oh, you can see there Nathan getting a little bit wide. Limits tried to go for an inside line, just about managed to keep the two tyres from meeting and causing a bit of contact here as Limitless once again goes to the inside, tries to get in the mirrors of Nathan, and the Haas is starting to lose time here as he's defending for his life, trying to hold on to a 6th place, and Limitless currently in 7th. He's bringing Rudy, Burt, JCol and TL44S, and the 2 Mercedes are even on the back of this pack as well. So unfortunately Nathan is very much the head of a bit of a train.
Yeah, he really is. I was just looking further back from Marcus's perspective, and you could see Nathan on board from Marcus's point of view. So that just shows how much of a train Nathan's got at the minute. And Nathan losing time, defending from Limitless, trying to hold on to 6th places. Here comes Limitless now, up the inside. Limitless does make it with this time. Nathan's going to try one round the outside. Oh, they bang wheels, and Nathan, is he going to hold on to this? No, he's not. And Limitless just takes that position. And is this a case now of Nathan starting to probably think about pitting, because those tyres look absolutely done as Nathan's run wide on the start-finish straight there, and this is going to potentially open a chance for Rudy. Oh, Rudy, he loves to try and send one down the fast corners, doesn't he, Rudy? And he's trying his hardest to get past this Haas car, but at the moment he just can't get it done. Can he get it done now? Rudy up the inside, Nathan run wide once again, and it looks like Rudy has got the position done, but here comes Burmeister as well. Could we have a 3-way fight here down towards Lovefields? And at the moment down the Wellington Straight we've got Burmeister overtaking Nathan, trying one on Rudy. Wow, Nathan is pretty much a mobile chicane right now.
Yeah, Nathan unfortunately was on opposite lock coming out of the loop there as he came onto the Wellington Straight, so he's going to be absolutely burning through those tyres. And here we go, he's going to get just about missing contact with JCol. JCol bounces off the rear tyre of the Haas ahead, and well, I'm sure that Red Bull will want to clear this Haas. Those tyres look absolutely shot. You can see all this contact, and JCol's going to go around. Unfortunately, he just got caught out with the speed differential. You could see how much Nathan was struggling with those tyres, and he just slowed down a little bit more than JCol was thinking. JCol unfortunately coming into contact, and I think there's a bit of wing damage on the Red Bull as well, as Finn Marcus picks up 3 seconds. So unfortunate for JCol. It looked as though he had the move done, but Nathan just unfortunately getting it wrong. And in fact Nathan's staying out, so deciding that it's still too early to come in and make his stop. He's staying out there on tyres that very much don't look like they want to be strapped to that Haas chassis, but well, he's now at the back of this pack, and very much having to worry about what's going on, because he's going to be right, in fact he's got involved in the battle between Finn Marcus, Foxy Red closing up as well. So TTG Nathan, having started the race so strongly, up in 4th position, now finds himself in 11th.
Yeah, that's desperately unlucky for JCol there. He just needed to show a bit of patience there, and he'd have most certainly got him down the DRS straight. Unfortunate for JCol there. I'm keeping an eye on, and you mentioned earlier about Burmeister saying he'll be in the top 10. He currently is. He's in 8th place and hanging nicely onto the back of Rudy in 7th place. Rudy not really been able to reel in Limitless at the moment. Limitless having, despite that penalty, having a decent race so far, but it really is 2 different races going on at the minute, Gareth, because you've got Limitless who's like 3 and a bit seconds off the top 5, with Limitless now the head of this train once again, with the likes of Rudy, Burmeister, Cliffy, TL44S. Nathan's still just about there, but Marcus is trying to put Nathan all under pressure. So at the moment, Limitless running the head of the train once again, and Nathan once again stays out. So I can imagine the likes of Marcus is going to probably be the next guy to get quite frustrated, stuck behind his Haas.
As Rudy's the first one to blink, he comes out of that pack and decides to go for the undercut. So he thought, well, I'm stuck in the middle of everything. If I come in, get that stop done and try and get some clean air, he can possibly set a decent outlap. If he can flash this outlap, he might find himself jumping up a couple of places.
Sorry, Gareth. Finn Marcus at the loop. It was so surprising. It was the slowest spin I have ever seen. He just slowed it right down. The Mercedes just decided to go for a small pirouette, and from the moment of pushing Nathan, he's found himself dropping all the way back down to 14th place. That really did look really unfortunate. I don't know what happened there for Marcus, but now he's dropped himself back behind Bando Biz, and Bando Biz, after that early incident, has found himself back up into 13th place.
As the carnival keeps on going, as guys spin out. We've seen a couple of spins for the likes of Bando Biz, for Finn Marcus, and for JCol as well. So a couple of guys coming into contact so far. Well, we'll see if that continues. We've currently got a breakaway 3 as your 2 Renaults and your McLaren have a 2-second advantage over Beastas, but it looks as though Harry and Hercules not quite wanting to push too hard, as Hercules, he's actually got a decent amount of battery saved up. Of course, that ERS basically push to pass, as he's trying to save behind Harry, letting Harry attack Stinson, so Hercules can just sit with his teammate and sit with the race leader. Let Stinson defend, let Harry attack, and Harry, well, he saved a decent amount in the last few laps as well. Stinson, what's he doing? He's got just under 50%, so the top 3 all relatively saving quite nicely in this sort of first third of the race. We're on lap 9 of 26, so plenty of racing left to go here this evening in the IRL F1 League. Myself, Gareth Hall, and Alan Sabatino in your commentary duo for this race and for the rest of the season, of course, every Monday night for the next 5 weeks or so. So yeah, plenty more racing left to go. We're off to France next week, so make sure you join us for that one. However, plenty more racing for Invictus over the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, F2 on the PlayStation and F1 on the Xbox on twitch.tv. Wednesday night, you've got the F3 and F4 leagues on the PlayStation as Nathan picks up 3 seconds as race is starting to fall apart a little bit. PC League as well on Wednesday, F1 and F2. And then on Thursday, it's Realistic Performance League night on the PlayStation and on the Xbox. So plenty of racing to get your teeth sunk into this week. There we go. There's a word in there somewhere. As the pit window is now open for those coming on from the one-stop strategy. Expect to see everyone do that. And one of those is Harry. He's into the box.
He is, and I was keeping an eye on a nice battle between Beastas and Andre. Andre really putting the pressure on Beastas, but Beastas has said, enough's enough, I'm going to come into the pits. And I just wanted to point out as well, when Nathan picked up that penalty, it was really unfortunate for Fox Red. He just got the move done on Nathan, but then ran wide at the exit of Magnussen Beckett's, dipped a tyre into the mud, and Nathan just sailed straight past him again. But luckily for Foxy, Nathan has has come into pit lane, so he's not going to hold him up. So Foxy Red in 7th place at the moment, but he was in 7th place as his teammate Scopefielder now has overtaken him. So maybe those soft tyres probably going off for Foxy Red. Is now Bando Biz once again. He's flying once again after that incident. He's into the top 10. He's in 9th and putting pressure on Foxy for 8th.
As Harry comes out in clean air, crucially, he manages to jump ahead of the likes of Rudy, of course, had made a stop a few laps earlier. So Harry now can put a decent outlap on and see if he pressures Stinson into making a stop with. Since Stinson, Sab, so far this season, he tends to like this longer first stint. Now, does he come in this time around? Yes, he does. Into the box comes your 2 race leaders, Stinson and Hercules, who was promoted up into 2nd with Harry making that move. Now, Harry making his way through Maggots and Beckett's onto the hanger straight. Let's see what this undercut will do. In fact, he's gone purple through sector 2, so this is going to open the door. It's going to be so close when he comes around to the final corner, because you can see both Stinson and Hercules now rolling out of their pit box, having made their stops, and it's going to feel like forever as they climb up the hill, getting ready to get back into 3rd gear as they fire their way up towards the 2nd corner. Here comes Harry. He's gone purple in sector 3 as well. This is going to be so close. He's surely Hercules going to get it as he comes around the corner. Stinson's on exit. They're going to go side by side into the third corner. Harry's going to try and go around the outside line and gets the move done. What a move there from Harry. Brave indeed. And you can see Stinson, just without getting his tyres up to temperature, is now going to have to go on the attack as he gets into the Wellington straight. Can he attack Harry down in towards Brooklands? It looks as though Harry's just about got enough space to defend, but wow, that shows you that undercut was just enough for Harry to get that fraction of a second to get him up ahead of the McLaren.
Yeah, and it was crucial, wasn't it? As you said, getting that clean air, be able to push on that lap, and oh, wow, he couldn't have got much closer than that, and I'm sure Stinson will be quite frustrated to see that Renault ahead of him, but crucially now he's the one attacking and Harry's going to have to be the one defending. Hercules lost out quite a bit, didn't he, through that, having to stop a lap later than his teammates, and he's fallen quite a bit off his teammate at the moment. Stinson 4/10 with DRS, but he's not close enough this lap to try anything on Harry, so Stinson having to survive another lap and try again on the next lap. But yeah, wow, that was brilliant for Harry. At the moment, just looking further ahead on the medium runners, we've got 4 medium runners left in this race. It's Cliffy, TL44, Schofield and Banabas. They occupy the top 4 places with Cliffy. We often speak about Cliffy in these alternate strategy. He's currently leading the race.
He is indeed, and that's something that we've seen quite often in the past from Cliffy7765, him doing that alternate strategy and coming out and well, watch out for the Mercedes. Expect to see him perhaps challenging later on in this one as he goes for that alternate strategy. Of course, 4 drivers deciding to start on the medium rubber. You've got Cliffy, TL44S, Schofield and Bando Biz. And, well, Bando, with a little bit of a spin, as you can see there, Andre just having a peek to the inside of Beastas. So Andre really starting to pick it up in the last few races, Sab. Really impressing qualifying and really starting to get this race pace. You've got to think after that podium last week, beating Harry to 3rd place, that he'll be buoyed by that result. And it's sure, it seems like it's spurring him on. He's now attacking Beastas, who well, in fact, of course, won the race in Austria before losing it on a post-race penalty and came second by, well, it was, what, 0.03 of a second back in Russia. So he's taking the fight to Beastas, and Andre well within striking distance. We've got a yellow in sector 2. It looks as though we've got one of the Mercedes around. That's Finn Marcus, unfortunately dropping down. But Andre once again having a peek to the inside of the Alpha Tauri, not quite close enough to get the move done, but really impressing so far this season is Andre.
He really is. I'd have to say, if there's awards for most improved, and I'd definitely give it to Andre. He's been absolutely superb this season. He's got on with his job, and you mentioned him overtaking Harry to take that podium last week. That must have felt really good. The current championship leader overtaking him 4th position on track, that must have felt really good for Andre. And now if he can get this move done on Beastas, he can potentially think about going after Hercules, because Hercules is from Andre is only about 1.5 seconds, so potentially it could be another podium on here for Andre. Is Andre now thinking about sending one up the inside? Oh, just not quite close enough for Beastas. He's playing it sensible as well at the moment, Andre. He's not trying anything too crazy and sending one Hail Mary up the inside of Beastas. He's playing it sensible, so it's a nice battle here. Beastas under a lot of pressure, and I think he'll want to get away, won't he, Beastas, to try and catch up with the likes of Hercules, but at the moment his mirrors are full of a Haas.
Yeah, Hercules now very much all in the mirrors of Stinson. Stinson getting it slightly wrong on the exit of Copse Corner. That allowed Hercules to close up. And there we go. Now the distance is closing. It's closing. We're almost able to go 3 wide. As you can see, Stinson was just thinking about it. You can see the car just wobbling to the right-hand side, just getting in the eye line of Harry BR25. And Stinson, in fact, goes a little bit deep there into Club Corner. And, well, it looks as though he's just about held onto it. Is the McLaren driver, Hercules behind. But it is, as you say, bringing Beastas and Andre into this battle. They're only 1.2 seconds behind what is the net race leaders of Harry, Stinson and Hercules. And Harry very much one now that is punching that hole through the air, allowing Stinson to perhaps save a little bit more battery or save a little more fuel. And here we go in striking range. Is the McLaren got a much better run out of the onto the Wellington straight and up back into the race lead. And Andre is making a move on Beastas as well, up in into 4th position. But Stinson, great move there. Found out that he came out just behind Harry. Decided to wait a couple of laps, and well, Harry now. He's dropped behind Stinson. He's now under threat from Hercules. Hercules much closer to him than he is to Stinson. So Harry, unfortunately, might find himself losing 2 positions in 1 lap if he's not careful. Because, of course, Hercules, second in the championship. There's a 40-point differential, so there's a huge margin. However, there's 75 points left up for grabs this season. So the championship is still in effectively open. So Hercules needs to get past his teammate if he's got any chance of beating him to the F1 title this season.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know Hercules, we've seen Hercules. He doesn't give up any fight, does he? He'll fight to the very end if there's a championship on the line. I was on board with Andre. He finally got that move done on Bandobiz much closer through the DRS and sorry, not Bandobiz, that flashed down at the bottom with B-Stas, I apologise, and Andre now been looking to try and reel in Hercules. I just went on board with B-Stas as he cut the first corner, and unfortunately that cut has cost him big. That gave him a 3-second time penalty. That is a lot of pain for B-Stas now. So if he's going to rescue potentially 4th place, he's going to have to pass Andre and take out a 3-second gap to him as well. So that really will hurt B-Stas towards the end of the race.
Yeah, unfortunately so, but he's now lost out a little bit more to Andre as well. That gap now up to 7/10 of a second. Limitless is trying to break the toe on Burmeister. Burr having a very good run this evening as Limitless almost gets into the back of Rudy. They're going into Brooklands, and they go around Luffield and into Woodcote. And you can see the Dutchman trying to close up on the Austrian ahead as Limitless once again has another look at the back of Rudy as they go into Copse Corner. And Burmeister, unfortunately, he's not going to feel the effect of 1 dirty hair backwash. He's going to feel the effect of 2 as he follows 2 cars around the fastest corner on the circuit, taking it, a decent amount of load in the car as JCol picks up 3 seconds. He's down in 15th place after that spin earlier on. And not a race to remember for the man that won in Australia, the 2nd race of the season. Limitless once again not quite close enough to attack Rudy. Burmeister staying with them. Into the box comes Scopefielder off of the tyres. He started on the mediums and onto the tyres. He wants to be on the softs to go to the end.
Yeah, I can imagine Scopefield is going to be very fast indeed, and you'd imagine Bandobiz, I'll mention him for real this time, Bandobiz was putting Scopefield under all sorts of pressure, and now Bandobiz has been given the free air. But further ahead, we've had a sort of battle for the lead at the moment. Teal Forest is keeping within DRS striking range of Cliffy, just not quite close enough to be able to do anything to him. But I imagine these 3 who are still out there on the medium tyres will be pitting any time now. Now they've just seen Scopefielder coming in for those soft tyres. Yeah,
surely that is going to begin that chain reaction. Scopefielder deciding to come in first, and they're not going to want to let him get any advantages. You can see the effective leaders, Stinson, Hercules and Harry, making their way around Copse Corner into Maggots and Beckett's as Harry gets all the backwash and the dirty air off the back of that McLaren going through the sequence of corners. Very, very easy to get it all wrong. We saw, of course, him get it wrong in qualifying, but DRS open as he comes down towards Stone. Not quite close enough this time around. We've got 10 laps left to go in this one, the 8th round of the season, the IRL F1 League on the PlayStation, with myself, Gareth Hall, and Alan Sabatino in the commentary box for this one. Scopefielder out of the box and already up ahead of his teammates. A 2 Alfa Romeo swap position in 10th from top, but into the box does come the rest of the guys that hadn't stopped so far, Cliffy, TF and Bando onto the softs. So let's watch out. There's going to be some fast laps set late in this one. Soft tyres, low fuel. It's going to be lovely feeling for those 4 guys. Let's see who's got the pace. Cliffy coming out. Where does he filter back in? You can see out into a top 10 place. So Cliffy, if all goes to plan, could be right on the back of this tail of Rudy and perhaps even, well, if he can get past Rudy and get a bit of clear air, well, he's got time to make up.
Yeah, he has, and you can never rule out Cliffy, can you, in these situations? It's a wonderful battle between B-Stas and Andre. Previous lap, B-Stas got pretty close to Andre. Kugwaya moved on. Then after Magnussen Beckett's got even closer, got the move on Andre. Andre wasn't able to pull away from Bisas when he overtaken him, and now Bisas finds himself back up into 4th place. I imagine that's quite frustrating for Andre, but he's just got to, I'd say, remain calm at the moment and keep pressing Bisas. He'll know Bisas has that penalty, and just keep the pressure on him, and he'll surely be able to keep hold of that 4th place. But Bisas and Andre having a lovely battle for 4th place here, but the problem what they're doing is, because they're fighting each other so much, it's costing them time from Hercules, and they were about a second off Hercules at one point. It was up to nearly 2 seconds now, so this battle is hurting their chances of a potential podium.
There's Cliffy looking as though that Mercedes has got a Saturn V rocket strapped to the back of it as he sent it down the inside of Limitless on the exit of Copse Corner. Now he's all over the back of Burmeister. So Burmeister, who's having probably the best run that we've seen from the Dutchman in quite a few seasons, I'd say, and running quite nicely in the top 10, although he's going to come under threat from the guys in the mediums. Here comes Cliffy down the inside. There's a little bit of a kiss for yellow to red for the wheels, but you can see Burt not willing to give this up. He knows that this is the best points haul he would have in multiple seasons. Will he go side by side with Cliffy? Cliffy getting the move done around the outside, that superior grip, and here we go. Can he even send it on Rudy at the end of the straight? Not quite. We know Cliffy's a bit of a conservative driver. He waits for those moments, letting people come to him rather than chasing them down, but he's going to already, surely, on the exit this one, he lifted out of the attack last time around. Will he go for... No, he's going to back out of it. He doesn't want to go side by side. He knows that there's some decent points on the cards. But Rudy surely is going to be dispatched with on the exit of this one. Up ahead, Harry will just quickly chip it in. He's going to go to the inside. Is he going to get the move done? And we just catch him retaking the lead. Lap 18 of 26. Harry back up ahead of Stinson, leading this one as, well, the pendulum swings once again back in favour of the Renault. What can Hercules do, Sab? Hercules kind of sitting in third in a bit of no man's land at the moment, not really interjecting himself in this battle.
Yeah, exactly that. He can see the battle. He just can't get quite close enough. I was watching the Stinson Harry. Harry just got a better run out of Maggots and Beckett's, and Stinson just had no chance with it. Harry, with DRS wide open, cruised past the McLaren, and I wouldn't be surprised if these two swap place again. But going back to Hercules, he just can't get close enough, can he? He's around 4 tenths, 5 tenths every time. Gets the DRS, but then just can't get close enough to be able to fight this battle. So I imagine he's finding himself quite frustrated right now. He gets just about there, and you want to like try and hurry him up a little bit, but unfortunately he just can't get it going in a minute. But Stinson and Harry having a mega battle, but Hercules has got probably closer as he's got in the last few laps, and he's right on the rear end of that McLaren now. So if you can clean run here through Maggots and Beckett's, you might have a real good chance on Stinson here. But the problem that Hercules is going to have is Stinson will have the DRS aid as well to help him defend from Hercules. So Stinson with DRS open, here comes Hercules, and unfortunately 2 tenths of a second behind Stinson, and it's not going to get the move done, unfortunately, for Hercules. So that was the closest he's going to be, but with Stinson being able to defend with that DRS, Hercules just sits there in third once again, and it's probably going to get quite frustrating for him.
Yeah, very much. He knows that he's probably got the pace to attack Stinson, or he gets a poor X out of club and loses almost half a second to the McLaren up ahead. And in fact, Stinson getting a good run on Harry. Keeping the Renaults honest is this McLaren, and Stinson, well, we know he's got the pace for the win. Can he put it into action? These guys, of course, all on the same tyre. However, Harry's done a lap extra, having gone for the undercut and getting the jump up ahead of Stinson. Stinson did get him back, but Harry back up ahead of him 2 laps ago. And now trying to stretch out a bit of a gap as we've got, unfortunately, TL4S around.
Yeah, he sent one up the inside of Limitless, and Limitless just shut the door, and he tagged the side of the Williams and spun the AlphaTauri car around, and TL4S was looking lightning quick on those soft tyres, and that's really hurt his chances now of scoring good points. He could see Limitless, Burmeister and Rudy ahead of him. The opportunity was there to really score good points. Unfortunately, now it's dropped him down to 13th place behind Foxy Red.
As Hercules, probably the closest he's been for a few laps. He needs to be within 2 tenths of a second leaving Chapel Corner, but it was just over that. So once again, we're going down to Stowe, and there's 3 seconds for TL4S to make it a pretty woeful 20th lap of 26 here at Silverstone. And Hercules, once again, just having to sit behind. And I tell you what, Sab, he's probably going to want some husky chocolate at the end of this one, because he's been staring at it for the majority of the race.
Well, it's nice chocolate. I don't want to advertise anything. It is nice chocolate, but I think he'll be sick to death of seeing that advertisement right about now. He wants to be able to try. Oh, he's getting pretty close here now. He's going to send one up the inside. He does send one up the inside. That is very brave from Hercules. They bang wheels, but surely Stinson's going to come back at him, and he does. Hercules, probably sick to death of seeing husky chocolate, went for it, but unfortunately just didn't work out, and Stinson retakes second place. And is that a bit of a desperation move there from Hercules? Do
you know what? I think that was a little bit of sportsmanship there from the German. I think that he noticed there was contact. He carried a lot more speed into the loop. There was a little bit of contact between the pair of them. He thought, no, we've been in a good battle. I'm just going to let you back past. You can see it looks as though he lifted off a little bit and let the McLaren back through. But, well, what that's done, Sab, is it's closed up the gap to DRS for Bistas and Andre. So Bistas and Andre now within a second. So we've now got a fight for the lead 5 cars long. 4 cars long.
yeah, unfortunately, it's not my fault this week, Gareth, the commentary case. Unfortunately, that's Bistas' second time penalty. So that's 6 seconds worth of time penalties now. So that's really going to hurt Bistas' chances of potentially getting a podium this evening. And what that might do, that might buoy Cliffy. Cliffy's only 10 seconds behind this battle, so if he can get within 6 seconds of Bistas, Cliffy could steal Bistas' place off him this evening. So Bistas will be very frustrated after picking up that penalty. But yeah, I'm sure Bistas will be giving it his all for the next 4 laps, even with 6 seconds worth of time penalty. So he'll be seeing that Renault quite close by, and I'm sure even if he crosses the line in podium place, he'll be happy to at least overtake that Renault, even if it drops him back at the end of the race.
I imagine there's quite a few blue words coming out of the crash helmet of Scopefielder as he sits behind Limitless. Unfortunately, Limitless making that car about 40 foot wide at the moment. Scopefielder on the optimum tyre just cannot get past the Williams at all. He's looking into almost every single corner. Finally, he uses a bit of DRS and gets down the inside, and that wall is finally broken. But Scopefielder, for about a lap and a half there, just unable to get the move done past Limitless, and now up into 9th position. He can now chase down Burmeister, who's still in this fight with Rudy for 7th and 8th position. So Burr's still in with a decent haul of points. Behind, we've still got TL4S, who's closing in on Foxy Red. Foxy having a bit of a race to forget. He did say that he's just not feeling it at the moment. He's not had that same burning passion like we saw from him when he won his championships earlier on. But unfortunately, just not enjoying this season. He's down in 12th place, is the Alfa Romeo. His teammate up in 9th. It's a bit of a woeful season for the Alfa Romeos. But a team that's not having a woeful season, Sab, are the Renaults. And they are split by Stinson in the McLaren. However, the Renaults do have an absolutely huge margin, a 67-point advantage in the championship, or the Constructors' Championship, over Red Bull. So surely it's a matter of time that these two Renaults lock out their first championship, and well, what would be crazily the first championship for both Hercules and Harry.
It's crazy to say that, isn't it? Hercules is mighty quick, Harry the same. You'd have expected them to at least picked up previous championships. Hercules, that season, what we commentated on with John Polainen, you just thought he was going to get a championship that season, how mightily quick he was there. Unfortunately, he didn't. I'm just watching this battle for the top 5, Gareth, and I think they're all stuck a bit in this DRS train at the moment. Bistas is stuck around 6/10 of a second by Hercules, and because Hercules is getting DRS of Stinson, and Stinson getting DRS of Harry, just nothing's really happening right now, and they're stuck in a bit of a rut. Andre really is dropping back a little bit now. It's down to 8/9 of a second, so Andre can't make any impression on Bistas at the moment. It's a bit of a DRS train with the top 5.
Nathan picks up 3 seconds. He's down in 14th position. Unfortunately, he got it all wrong earlier in the race. Had a lap and a half or so where the tyres were probably the same temperature as the surface of the sun, so he spent it in the majority on an opposite lock as Bando tries to close in on Limitless. They're fighting over 10th and 11th, but the battle is very much, as you say, on for the win in this one. Stinson still trying to fight with Harry. Hercules trying to stay with him. Bistas, with that 6 seconds, is likely to drop behind Andre. Looks as though Cliffy can't make any inroads on this top 5. It looks as though his progress has stalled. He's 11 seconds off the pace in 6th place, but a decent decent haul of points from the man that started last on, well, second to last on the grid, with Bando being disqualified in qualifying, and Bando once again not able to close up to Limitless. However, Stinson is trying his hardest to stay with Harry. We're on lap 24 of 25. We've got 2.5 laps left to go, and you've got to think, Sad, this is all going to come down to the final lap. Is Stinson, you can see it, looking at as they go on board with him, he saved up an entire battery's worth of push to pass of ERS, ready to attack that Renault late on in this one. Surely this is going to come down to a last lap fight between all three of them.
Yeah, most definitely is. Stinson not using any battery, just using the DRS, as Stinson still saving that battery. Harry will be prepared for an onslaught over the last couple of laps coming up now. Just looking further down, and there's been a nice battle between TL4FRS and Fox Red. TL4FRS swapping places with Fox Red, and Fox Red coming back at him, but TL4FRS has just about got ahead of him. But Fox Red is going to get another run at TL4FRS here, and Foxy cruises past that AlphaTauri, and unfortunately for TL4FRS, it's just been a race to forget for him, and Fox Red retakes 12th place. And since TL4FRS has had that mistake on those soft tyres, he's never really been able to recover since, and unfortunately it doesn't look like he's going to be scoring any points this evening.
And here comes Stinson. He's closing in on Harry. In fact, he's getting very close. Has to lock up the front left as he goes in towards Brooklands corner. But you can see Stinson starting to put the pressure on. We're on the penultimate lap of this one. 25 of 26 laps here at Silverstone, the 8th round of the IRL F1 season. Well, it's all going to come down to the final lap. You've got to think, because here comes Stinson closing in on Harry. Will Harry have anything to counter him with? Because you've got to think Stinson is going to go on the offensive on the hanger straight. He's within 0.3 of a second, which is that magic 0.3 to be close enough, as Harry's weaving to try and break that toe. But here comes the McLaren. Which side is he going to choose? He's going to go around the long way. He's going to have to sweep around the outside. Will he try and tuck back in and get a run down towards Club Corner? You can see, will he think about it? Once again, he's committing to the outside line. He's going to try and go tight through the next two apexes. We've got a yellow in sector 3, and it looks as though it's the racing point of Bando that's gone off at Chapel Corner. But we're on to the final lap of this one, with Stinson versus Harry. Burmeister 3-second penalty on the final lap. Here comes Stinson. He's going to close in on Harry. Harry is going to defend for his life. He wants this victory. Stinson is going to be all over him as they go on to the Wellington Straight Slab. This one can go anywhere.
Oh, it can, and Stinson now deploying that battery once again. Here we go. Can Harry do anything about it? Stinson trying around the outside once again, sweeping. Now Stinson will be on the inside. Stinson takes the lead. Harry had no chance about it, but Harry, crucially, will have another DRS zone to attack Stinson. So this race isn't over yet. Stinson does take the lead. Can Hercules further back, can he get involved in this? At the moment, Hercules is just too far away, so it looks like it's going to be a two-way fight between Stinson and Harry as they now enter for the final time. Maggots and Beckett's. Who is going to take this? At the moment, you would have to say Harry is in good position here, but he doesn't have much battery, Harry, here. So can Harry get a good run out here on Stinson? Stinson now doesn't have the DRS, so it's turned for Harry. Harry's deploying all his battery. He's got no battery left here, so I think it's just a bit too much for Harry. Harry's not going to be able to get it done, and as long as Stinson keeps it between the lines here, it should be Stinson's first race victory this evening.
And here we go to the final two corners as Limitless picks up 3 seconds, but it's not Stinson that's going to pick up the 3 seconds. He's going to come across the line. He's going to win his first race here in Invictus, and he takes the fastest lap on the final lap. What a race there. What a finish between Stinson, between Harry. 0.3 of a second splits the top two, 0.7 the top three. Andre, another blistering race from him in 4th place. Beastas in 5th. Cliffy will take home 6th. Then we've got a huge train of cars. 7th and 8th goes to Rudy and Scopefield. Everyone comes to almost a complete stop as they come across the line. Everyone obviously spent all their fuel as Rudy in 7th, Scopefield 8th. Burmeister does come home in the points, so he does prove me right. He gets 9th place. Limitless in 10th. Foxy, Nathan, Finn Marcus, TL4S, JCol will be the last one. Is he on a push lap? We saw he came into the box. He's gone purple in sector 2. Is he going to try and steal the fastest lap off of Stinson? I'm sure Stinson will not be best pleased at all. He wants to take home that 16 points for the season. JCol up to the final corner. What can he do with this flying lap? Can he steal the purple lap on the line? Here we go, and he does take the flying lap off of Stinson. I'm sure the McLaren driver will not be best pleased with that. But what a result there for Stinson. Cliffy gets driver of the day. Great race from him, starting from the last row of the grid all the way up into 6th place. But, well, it went down to the final corner, Sab. We saw the move around Luffield for the lead of the race on the final lap. You had to think that Harry had just expelled all his battery in defending. He just didn't have quite enough to attack the Dutchman in down the hanger straight into Stowe Corner. Stinson holds on for a brilliant race win.
Oh yeah, he thoroughly deserved it tonight. Kept it between the white lines finally, and got the move done superbly. Saved all that battery, as you pointed out, and when he needed to get the move done, he got the move done very well. And Harry will feel quite frustrated to have lost it on the last lap here. But I'm sure when he all things calm down, he'll know that it's still big points and very good points for not only his Drivers' Championship challenge but also his Constructors, with his teammate coming on in 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely so. As Stinson takes the win 0.3 of a second ahead of Harry. Hercules rounds out the podium and makes it a double podium once again for the Renault team. Andre, another brilliant result for the Haas driver in 4th place. Beasthouse in 5th. Cliffy, Rudy Schofielder. Then Burmeister and Limitless round out your points finishes. Foxy, Nathan, Finn Marcus, Teal Forfairs and JCol, who snatched the fastest lap on the last lap there. Bando unfortunately retiring after making an error. With 2 laps left to go, he was down in 16th position. But yeah, what a race. Great fun. Unfortunately for Harry, just not quite enough at the end. But he does, with Hercules in 3rd place and Harry in 2nd, he does extend his lead in the championship by another 2 points. So all is not lost if you're Harry Biot 25. He manages to make that up from 40 points to 42 points going into France round 9, where it's very much coming down to the crucial moments. If you're anyone else, if you've got to put in a challenge on Harry, because you've got to think that the championship can be wrapped up in the next 2 rounds if the points go in his favour. France and China next 2 up. It's going to be a big 2 races for Harry. But Sab, the guys have joined us. What a race we've had from Stinson and from Harry, and equally from Hercules. It looks as though he just couldn't quite get up there. What was your moment of the race?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to say Harry will probably not forgive me for saying this, but that final lap from Stinson, he saved all his battery and got the move done. Harry gave him a hard time. He wasn't going to give that place up too easily, but Stinson just about got the move done. Unfortunately for Harry, at the end, just ran out of battery to be able to come back at him. But yeah, for me, Stinson played it well. He finally kept it clean for an evening. No penalties picked up this evening. I think in the end, thoroughly deserving to win this race. Stinson will be joining us, by the way, Gareth, in a few moments. He's messaged me. So, moment, I don't know if you want to get ahead and speak to Harry and Hercules, who have joined us, and hopefully get Stinson in here shortly.
Yeah, very well. We'll start with Harry. Just double check, guys, you've got your voices to be shared. But Harry, you've got to be a bit disappointed with that one. Obviously, Stinson looks as though he had the pace on you, but to lose on the last lap's a little bit gutting.
Yeah. I don't enjoy losing any race, never mind on the last lap. But no, I think Stinson just had the pace really. He was kind of in the first stint, was just trying to stay in his DRS. I think if there's no DRS in Formula One, then I think he probably wins by 4 or 5 seconds quite comfortably. I think so. First stint was staying in his DRS, and then the second stint I was maybe a little bit more competitive, and I was doing some really good laps at the end. But even so, it kind of felt like I was just trying to hold him back, and I felt like I did okay with my battery for the last few laps, but yeah, clearly I was just a little bit too short, but it was a good fight and I'm pretty happy.
Well, you've extended your championship lead now 42 points. You've said before that you're not counting your chickens until anything's happened, but you've got to think that it's almost in the bag now. You're almost 3 race wins clear of anyone else, so surely it's just consistency, and that will get you over the line.
Yeah, well, that's definitely the plan here on out. But I mean, going into this race, I was just like, I'll just take a podium. If I know I can finish on the podium or close to the podium in every race, then I know the championship will be mine. But I don't know. It's easy to say that when you're in the lead with 5 laps to go. I'm suddenly not thinking about the championship. I'm just trying to think of keeping Stinson behind. So, yeah, no, I think the championship is obviously there for the taking, but I think it's still some very difficult races to go, and I think the win from Stinson has been sort of a long time coming. I'm very happy for him to get his first win here, and also Hercules winning last time out as well. So yeah, I've definitely got to keep a very high level.
Absolutely so, and yeah, congratulations, second place for you, extending your lead in the championship, and equally another double podium for Renault extends that to almost insurmountable margin for anyone else. We'll go on to our third place finisher before we go on to our race winner, and we'll finish up with Stinson. We'll go on to Hercules now. Morning, Daniel. How are you doing? What? It was a bit of an off year, a bit of an off race for you. It didn't seem like you had enough to attack the guys at the end there.
Yeah, exactly. Just lacking a bit of raw pace, and then that's why I had the battery to get the fight to Stinson, and yeah, I think Cyril Abiteboul won't be happy. Yeah, just struggle with the tires, and yeah, even in practice, I was just liking this 1 or 2 turns, and they made a difference today. So congratulations for Stinson. Yeah, the incredible traction out of every corner. Every corner he had good traction. I had to use battery, so yeah, he could really save a lot. And yeah, even with the move, I I tried something, but I don't know. I locked up so much and failed, so I let him through again. So I hope he's not pissed. But yeah, whatever. It's still good points for the constructors. So we should be pretty much done.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, as you say, it's a great race for the Constructors' Championship, and yeah, we did note on broadcast that it looks as though when you did go for the move, there was a little bit of contact, but it was very sporting of you to allow Stinson back through. It was a good fun battle, but yeah, we could see the frustration building up there. Was there any point that you thought you'd be able to? We saw you closing in a couple of times, but it seems as though with Stinson usually behind Harry at that point, that just with Stinson having that DRS, it was just a little bit too much to send it down into Stowe or at the end of the DRS zone.
Yeah, probably not the best setup for the race. Not good to the tires, and yeah, it was all about the traction I was missing. And I wasn't frustrated. I just wanted to try something because I don't want to sit the whole race behind. But after that move, I was out of battery and I had no chance. I was just watching the two in front, and yeah, just barely could keep up with them. There was one time I just wanted to save a bit battery, and then I fall out of DRS. So that's a clear sign I had not enough raw speed.
Well, congratulations nevertheless. That's a third place, and that's decent results for yourself and Harry in the Constructors' Championship. And on to our race winner, Stinson. And just to make sure you've got your voice on loud to be shared, because I'm sure everyone wants to finally hear from you as a race winner. You just got over the line there. It was so close, 0.3 of a second. You made the move on the last lap. How does it feel? You're a race winner on a Monday night here on IRL F1.
Yeah, it feels great. It was a really fun race. Yeah, I wanted to, in the second stint, I wanted to challenge Hercules to use his ERS, which I just heard worked, because I knew they were working together.
No.
I let Harry overtake me so I could regain some fuel and ERS, and I was planning to start pushing at the second to last lap, and I think for this time it worked out perfectly.
And I mean, yeah, as you say, it was a pretty decent race from start to finish for yourself. Taking pole position, last one across the line, that's exactly what any driver wants to do. Started a brilliant start from yourself, so I held it. And as you say, it must feel good to steal the win on the last lap. But what made you go for the move where you did? Because obviously you then left Harry a DRS zone down towards Stowe on the last lap. Did you just gauge the fact that he'd used all the battery defending from you, or you just taking a punt on when the opportunity came available?
Yeah, when I was leading at the second stint. I was keeping an eye on the lap times, and when I was leading, we were doing like 2/10 quicker than when Harry was leading, and I was a bit closer to Harry when I was following. So I figured that he would be using a little bit more ERS than I was. So I figured if I just go full out on the last lap, make him use it at the beginning, that he wouldn't have enough ERS left to do it at that last straight.
Well, mega race from you. First time winner here. Feels like it's been a long time coming, keeping it in between the two white lines. No penalty. And
for first time, 0 warnings. 0 warnings.
Nice. Well, it was a great race, a real fun one to watch. And Sab, if that sets us up nicely for a decent week's racing here at Invictus, I don't know what does. What a race here from the IRL F1 guys.
Oh, most definitely. The battle for the lead was superb. We had some great battles throughout the field, didn't we? We've seen some spins, some penalties, but overall it was a really enjoyable race. A huge congratulations to Stinson finally getting that race victory here on a Monday night. I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted, and hopefully we'll see more of these battles from now to the end of the season. I'm sure Harry won't be too keen on me saying that, but this was a good night's racing, and like you say, if we can see this throughout the rest of the week, I'm really looking forward to what action we're going to have here in IRL around Silverstone.
Yeah, very much so. It's going to be, it's going to go, well, it's very much going to be on Harry's bottle for the next few races or so. Can he keep his nerve? Can he just sew up this championship that he's been so close to for the last 2 seasons? So make sure you join us next Monday night for the French Grand Prix, the 9th round of the season, as we go into the final 4 races of the season here on a Monday evening. Myself, Gareth Hall, and Alan Sabatino for the final month of this one, the season 12 of IRL F1 on the PlayStation. Of course, you can join us tomorrow night on the PlayStation 4 F2, and that will, of course, have Malc in the commentary box, who might be joined by Craig, and we'll find out very shortly. And of course, over on twitch.tv/Invictus Racing League, you can find the Xbox F1 League. Wednesday night, it's PlayStation F3 and F4, Xbox F1 and F2, all streamed here on YouTube, all fully commentated as well, now that we've got full comms teams, which is great to see. And Thursday night is Realistic Performance League night on the Xbox and on the PS4, with a reverse grid from last week's results in the USA here at Silverstone. So watch out for plenty more racing here from Invictus for the rest of the week. But from myself and Sab, we hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, give us a like on the video if you have. It's been a great race. Subscribe if you're new. Do all the good stuff you do on the socials. Go to invictusracingleague.com to find out standings and more. And of course, have a very good week. We will see you in 7 days' time in France. Goodbye.